Hello again, Double Talk 73 here, your fishing friend. The mission we're going to be working on now is down in Louisiana at Conshohocken, and we're going to try to catch the black vampire gar using rotten minnows. It does the same thing about having to use match rods or anything like that, so we can use bottom rods. So we have to use an eagle claw hook. So this is what I'm using. I got a lot of money, and I'm a pretty high level, so I can get all this other stuff. But anyhow, use a good heavy bottom rod, because these are big fish. These are pretty big fish. Eagle claw, hook, and rotten minnows. Those, if you don't use those two, whatever you catch does not count. And I got all 4 rods set up the same way. Okay. This is where we're going to spawn in. It's called the Cypress Dreams. And we're going to, just when you spawn in, you'll be over there. Just walk. That big tree is what you want to look for. And then when we fish, we're going to be fishing out in here, 75 feet out. So let me put the rod stand down. And I like to come during the day, first of all, so you can set everything up so you don't waste fishing time. Wow, that one, red, green, red. Okay. So let's get all of our clips set up at 75 feet. And it's interesting that 75 feet is the same distance that I used to catch the gars that we needed for 44.1 pounds and heavier. And we need to catch 13 of these. Okay. I got a few dead minnows. We should be okay. The problem is, it's 99 bait coins to buy that DLC to get a few of, I think you get 13 each time, of the pig's eye, the rotten minnows, the bread, and the moldy cheese. So you only get 13. So if you don't, like when I went to Naren to catch the green ogre gar, the first thing I caught was a flathead catfish. So if I only had 13 of the bait, the most I can catch then is 12. So I hope you got a bunch of bait coins. This is not a challenge or missions that you'll want to try to finish without a bunch of bait coins, if you want to catch the Frankenfish for whatever that's worth. And the first gar I catch out here, I'll put a marker out there so you can see the GPS location, if I catch one, or when I catch one, whichever. Let's see how good of a weather we're going to have. That looks pretty decent. That doesn't, does it? 12 o'clock is right there in that lull. So we'll give it some time. I won't wait very long till I'll go 3 o'clock in the morning, for whatever that's worth. Okay. Let's go to midnight. And we're going to go 75 feet out. These rods that I'm using, you have to be level 65 in order to get them. And the reels are level 62, the Tortolino. So if you are fishing down in Bolivia already, These are the ones you should have if you have the money. The rods are like $58,000 a piece, or 56, and reels are 58,000. Takes a lot of money to set up for them. But there again, I got a lot of money. Here's the other side of it. Doing all this traveling and all this buying rods and bait and everything, we're not making any money, and we're not getting a lot of bait coins back. But if you do all that, let's say you buy if you got 198 bait coins, and you buy the DLC to get the 13 of this, the 3, the 13, 13, and you do that twice, you're going to have 198 bait coins invested in catching the fish for the gar for what you need to catch. There we go. See, that's where they are. Made a little money. Cool. But at the end, once you catch the Frankenfish, you're going to get when you do all this stuff, you're going to get a kayak, you're going to have the book, you're going to have the Frankenfish, but a lot of the stuff that you get, you can go into your home and you can sell them for bait coins. I think that kayak is quite a few bait coins. It may be 250, 300 bait coins, but I mean, you got to prime the pump in order to receive, I guess is what I want to say. But it takes bait coins to do the missions, all of them. There's no way around it. But come the 4th of July event, hang with me, and I'll show you how to come out of the faith. The 4th of July event was somewhere around 2,000 or more bait coins. Not a guaranteed, but almost guaranteed. Because a friend of mine figured it out. A friend of mine and I, his raffle's 63.
Should you not be able to just get them in the pumpkins?
Get what in the pumpkins? Bait coins? You get some of the bait, the bait you will.
Lures.
Some of them you will. Some of them you won't.
Baits.
There again, some of them you will, some of them you won't. Let's see. You can get when you get the moldy cheese, I think you get 5. When you get when you get them out of a pumpkin, you get 5. So you're going to have to spend a lot of money traveling every day to get all the pumpkins to get bait and lures. And I forget what lures all the lures you have to have. Let's see, for the ghost, where is that? Ghost essence. Where is it? It's not going to give it. There it is, ghost essence. See, you have to have the silicon spider, that's that purple spider, blade spinner, spider spoon. I have not seen that one yet. Somebody else said they didn't have that one yet. Slimy crank, I've got that one. I got the rope spoon, and I don't have a bony shad yet. So there's 2, and I go every day with the money that I've got. I go every morning to all of the lakes, except for Alaska. There's all this up there is the albino blacktail. There's no pumpkins up there, but I go to all the lakes to get the pumpkins and the tombstones. And I do not have a bony shad. I do not have a spider spoon yet this year. Now, I may have it in my inventory from last year. I don't know. I haven't looked. But if I do, I can use it. But the point I'm making is you've got to spend a lot of money to get all these, to travel around to get all these. Now, the best thing to do is go to a lake, do the pumpkins and the tombstones, and then stay there and fish to make the money that you spent traveling. That way you're not throwing good money after good. That's my suggestion. Then when you get $13-14 million, it's not gonna be quite as bad, the traveling around. 5 million, 10 million, whatever. My buddy that we worked at Raffles, when we worked with figuring out the bait coins on the 4th of July event, he had $25 million. And most of that came from farming sturgeon in California to try to get high enough level so he could go to blue crab. I mean, he fished there forever. And I was right along with him, but I was a few levels higher than him when we started. But then once we got to blue crab, and then a couple months after that along came the 4th of July event, we fished and did whatever we could in that event for several days, and then we only had like maybe 8 or 9 days left to fish in the event, and figured out how we could get a lot of bait coins. If we would have, and we both have wound up with over 1,800 additional bait coins than when we started. If we would have started early on in the event, we would have easily had over 2,000 bait coins. But you have to farm at blue crab with the bully grasshoppers and the drunken worms, mainly bully grasshoppers. So you use all those you've got, and then fish with drunken worms, and then you go back and get more, and I'll show you how to get more. There again, you got to have bait coins to make bait coins. You're going to spend 200 bait coins to get 500 baits. But those 500 baits will bring you back 500 bait coins. When you run out of those, you take 200, you spin it, you get 500 more baits. And hopefully when you get those baits, they're bullies, because the fish bite better on the bullies. But we'll get to that when that event comes along. And if things still work the same again, that would just be absolutely marvelous. Because I'd hate to get your hopes up and then it not work. But I will test it and make sure that it does before I recommend or tell you. I'll either tell you it works or it doesn't. That's the skinnies of the whole thing. Come on, get in here. See, these aren't too bad. Get this other in before it gets going. Put my sunglasses on. Can I put them on while I'm fishing? Nope. Get the glare of the moon off the water. I'm going to put a marker out there so y'all can see it. And that's what it is. There's the, I can't share a marker with you because you're not in CBT, so you can't friend me on there, so I can't, but you can look at this video when I post it, and all those other videos where you need markers that I put, and you can use these GPS locations to get real close and put your marker down to something to aim at, okay?
Said, share to me.
I can't. I'm not fishing here on
Z.
my PC
With me asterisk.
because I'm in CBT. The testing part of the game. See, I'm still looking for bugs. But I can't give you the code to get in CBT. That's a no-no. But you could write down that GPS location because it's the same whether it's the free-to-play or Xbox or PS4 or CBT. That GPS location is what it is. It is what it is. So that's what I'm saying. You can write it down. I'm surprised we're catching as many as we are since we started right at the trough, right at the dead bottom of midnight. Not complaining, believe me. Just interesting. Interesting. And once you find out where these are, as long as you're using bottom rods, they'll come along pretty good. See, last year, I didn't figure out I could use bottom rods till I was not catching many fish with a float. And then one of my buddies said, why don't you use bottom rods? Duh. Okay, thank you. Because I'd read some of the other missions that said match rod or telefloat. So I thought that's the way they all were. Then I started reading the directions and realized that I could use bottom rods because it didn't say what I had to use other than the bait and the hook. Because I can catch him here with a regular 6/0 barbless hook, but it doesn't count. It will not count in the mission. But if you come here at night and forget to set everything up during the day, just remember, you want to aim for that. Either that the tall tree, the break, that little tree, and then that break in the trees or that flat portion. That gives you a point to aim at. And when I catch the last one of these, I'll do the same thing I did on that last one. I'll end the recording, but I'll keep on streaming. I think this is the end of the gars that we have to catch, isn't it? I was happy to get the bowfin done. That was something else. Then we'll start working on. We're going to take a picture of that one. That's a nice one. Ooh, that is a nice one. Thank you, thank you. All right. Start working on the. I'll probably start running around the. Oops, wrong one. Start running around catching the pumpkin and try to get, because I haven't gone everywhere today. I've been doing these videos and haven't hit all the pumpkins and the tombstones. To try to get the spider spoon and the bony shad. Excuse me, when I leave here, I'll look and see if I've got it in my inventory. I probably got it in my inventory in the regular game, but not in the CBT. So I may have to get out of here and go into regular game just to see if I have it. Because I should have had it left over from last year if I hadn't just got rid of it. These special lures and special baits, whatever you have extra, don't get rid of them, because you'll be able to use them the next year. Instead of buying, like I got 100 something pig eyes now in here, but in the other game I probably got quite a few too. But don't get rid of them, keep them, because you'll be able to use them next year. The same thing with the hooks, the eagle claw, the hawk claw, and what's the other one? I forget. Anyhow, the 3 claw hooks, keep them. You'll be able to use them. If you have multiples of them, and you can get those out of the pumpkins and the tombstones too, if you have multiples of them, keep them. Because like this, we need 4 of these to use down rods. If you've only got one, then you're kind of limited to a float or one down rod. The more bait you have in the water, the more likely you catch more fish. More hooks, more bait, more fish. Sep, do you want me to send you a marker on this? What I'll do when I get out of this part of the game to start doing the other lures, I will come down here in the other game, catch a fish there, and then send you a marker if you want me to. I've got no problem with that.
Said. Sure, why not?
Okay.
Smiley face.
Okay. What about the Yeti Gar and the Green Ogre? Same thing? I got no problem. All it means is me traveling, so I'll be glad to. And then you can share it with Pat.
Said.
Then you can share them with Pat. 1 o'clock. We did pretty good for an hour, didn't we? Caught 9. I remember Raffles. He can't play anymore because his body just racked with pain all the time. But he had a mechanical keyboard, and on the keyboard, when he's typing, you hear it all the time. It's funny. Not funny, but that's just him. He's my buddy. Okay, next night, 12 o'clock. There's $16,000 worth of gar there. That's pretty good. I'm trying to think if you need that ghost essence to put in the cauldron, where you have to catch all those bluegill skeletons. I don't remember. I'll have to look at that part of the mission. I know you have to have the green ogre scale.
Said. Did you say you got a video out of all the pumpkins, DB?
Yes, I do. It's about if you look on my all of them but California and blue crab. In California, when you spawn in to California at the dam, you just turn around. There's one right behind you at the dam. Then you go get in your boat and drive towards the dam. There is a peninsula coming out beside the rocks. Then there's a waterway. You go into that, on that island. Next there's a pumpkin there. And then once you get it there, you go on to the next island, and there's a pumpkin and a tombstone there. That's where they are in California. I never did find a tombstone in blue crab. It may be one there, but I never found it. But when you spawn in at the boat dock in Blue Crab, you just go around behind. You'll see the pumpkins, one on each end of the two buildings. Then you go up across the walkway, over the water, and down, and in front of the building on the other side. That's where the hello Milwaukee. That's where the third pumpkin is in Blue Crab. But I have a video on YouTube. It says location of all the pumpkin Halloween, all the pumpkin locations. There was one more tombstone that I found at Falcon. Was when you go across the log bridge and go to the right. There's one up there that I hadn't found before, and today when I was looking for the mandrake root, I found it by accident. The other one is there. It's kind of hid behind a rock. If you walk real fast, you'll walk past it. All the pumpkins and all the tombstones, I recommend that when you go and look for them, you go at 5 o'clock in the morning, which that's when you're going to spawn in anyhow, because the tombstones show up better early in the morning like that. You don't have to use a light at night to find them, and you don't have to do in the dark try to find your way around. That's just a suggestion. Might make it a little easier on you.
Okay, Todd.
You're welcome. And there are no pumpkins in Alaska, so don't go there. All that you have to catch up there is the albino blackfish after you get the caviar bait. But that has nothing to do with any part of you don't get a special part of the potion or whatever to put in the cauldron if you catch the albino blackfish. You just get a plaque that you caught it. It's just a mission. Two more. One more maybe. And then I can end this recording. So I'll have another video to post. It's nice that I can follow this through to the end because it's happening so fast, so the video is not so very, wow, that's a bigger one. Not so very, very long. The ghost essence that you get from the bluegill skeletons up in St. Croix, that you're not going to do that in one night, 2 nights. It's 5 or 6 nights. I mean, it's a long drawn out part of the mission. I'm going to look again. Now, when you do that, I think you get, it's Pandora's box by doing that mission. Now, that don't sound like much, but I think Pandora's box at the end will sell for 200 bait coins, if I remember right.
Said, good night, my friends. Stay safe and well.
You too, Frank. Thank you for coming and hanging out with me. I appreciate it. And pat your dog for me. God bless you, my friend. Sleep well. Stay safe.
See ya at 2812 Frank Demon.
Okay. He's a good guy, Step. He really is. Probably about as good as you are. Probably about as good as you are, Step. Okay. Here's number 13. Lucky number 13. I heard it out there flopping. Flopping and a flopping.
Said, better. I still got a mark fro him.
Yes. There we go. All right. And like I said, I'm going to end this recording, but not stop the stream. So there's our vampire, whatever call it, fin, black vampire fin. Okay. And I got to go back in missions and close that one down again. Okay. Now, I can just leave. I think I don't have to get all my rods up. But anyhow, okay, let me close this one up and then we'll go on to the next one. Remember, we will get through this together by the grace of God. Learn a little bit, pass it on. That's the fisherman's way. This one kind of went kind of fast, so that was good. Remember, after midnight. PPPP. Practice, patience, persistence will produce. So God bless you and your families. Take care and be safe. Have fun. Enjoy the game and have fun, okay? So this Double Talk 73 saying, I'll catch you later. So y'all come back now, you hear?